I, 34M, never thought I'd be typing something like this. My wife Sarah, 32F, and I have been married for 7 years, together for 10. We met in college. She was studying literature, and I was finishing my engineering degree. From the beginning, I was captivated by her smile, her passion for books, and the way she could light up any room she entered. Our relationship wasn't perfect, whose is, but we had something special. We built our life together brick by brick. After graduation, I landed a decent job at a construction firm while Sarah pursued her teaching certificate. The money wasn't amazing, but it was stable, and we managed to buy a small house in the suburbs 3 years ago. It wasn't much, but it was ours. Sarah's family has always been complicated. Her parents divorced when she was young, and her mother struggles with health issues that prevent her from working full-time. Her younger brother Jake dropped out of college and has been finding himself for the past 5 years. I've never complained about helping them out. Family is family, right? So when her mom needed help with medical bills, I paid them. When Jake needed a loan to start his latest business venture that never materialized, I wrote the check. All told, I've probably given over $40,000 to her family over the years. Money that could have gone toward our future, our dreams. But Sarah was always so grateful, so loving. The way she would look at me with tears in her eyes and say, "You're the most generous man I've ever known," made it all worthwhile. The changes started about 6 months ago. Sarah began staying out later, claiming she was at book club or having drinks with coworkers. She bought new clothes, changed her hairstyle, and started wearing makeup daily, something she used to save for special occasions. Her phone was suddenly password protected, and she'd take calls in another room. Classic signs, I know. But I trusted her completely. Maybe that makes me naive. Last month, her mother needed another surgery. When I offered to help with the expenses as usual, Sarah said, "Don't worry about it. It's taken care of." When I pressed her on who was covering the considerable cost, she vaguely mentioned insurance and changed the subject. Then came the weekend trips to visit her college roommate in the city. The decreased intimacy. The emotional distance growing between us daily like a crack in a foundation. Yesterday, I saw a text notification pop up on her phone while she was in the shower. A name I didn't recognize. Michael. The message preview simply read, "Can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Don't worry about the money. I've got it covered." My hands are shaking as I type this. I don't know what to do. For 10 years, I've poured my heart, soul, and wallet into this relationship. I've supported her dreams, her family, her everything. And now, I confronted Sarah about the text message that evening. I didn't yell or make accusations, just asked who Michael was and why he was covering expenses for her mother's surgery. The look on her face told me everything before she even opened her mouth. Guilt, surprise, and something else, relief, like she'd been waiting for this moment. "He's a friend," she started, not meeting my eyes. "A friend who happens to be the CEO of the educational publishing company that supplies textbooks to my school. Turns out they met at a teacher's conference 3 months ago. He was a guest speaker. Wealthy, successful, divorced with no kids. Everything I wasn't." She claimed nothing physical had happened between them, but he'd been helping her out with her family's financial needs. "It's not like that," she insisted. "He's just generous and wants to help. You've been carrying this burden alone for so long, and I felt terrible about it." I asked why she'd been hiding him, the trips, the calls. She didn't have a good answer. "I need some space to figure things out," she finally said. "I love you, but I'm not sure if I'm in love with you anymore." Those words. Every married person's nightmare. The next day, she packed a bag and went to stay with her friend. At least, that's what she told me. I didn't ask if the friend was Michael. For a week, I was in shock. I barely ate or slept. I called in sick to work and spent days staring at our wedding photos, wondering where it all went wrong. Was I not attentive enough? Did I work too much? Was it because I couldn't afford luxury vacations or designer clothes? Then came the anger. I calculated exactly how much money I'd given to her mother and brother over the years. Pulled out bank statements, credit card bills, everything. The grand total made me physically ill. $43,762. Almost our entire savings. Money that could have been invested, could have grown, could have built our future. I texted her. "I hope he's worth throwing away 10 years for." She didn't respond. Her brother Jake called me the next day, awkwardly asking if I could help him with rent. When I laughed and told him to ask Michael, there was a long silence. "Who's Michael?" he asked. That's when I realized how compartmentalized Sarah had kept her life. Her family didn't know about her new benefactor. They still thought I was the piggy bank. Last weekend, I drove by her mother's house on a hunch. There was Sarah's car in the driveway, parked next to a shiny black Tesla. As I sat there, a man emerged from the house, tall, salt and pepper hair, expensive watch glinting in the sunlight. He helped Sarah's mother down the front steps with practiced care, his hand supporting her elbow. Sarah followed, laughing at something he said. They looked like a family. A happy, wealthy family that didn't include me. I drove home and poured myself a drink. Then another. By midnight, I drafted divorce papers. By morning, I called a lawyer. Friends tell me I should fight for her, remind her of our history, our love. But how do you fight against someone who can offer everything you can't? How do you compete with wealth and status when all you have is a steady job and a heart full of memories? Sarah came by yesterday to collect more of her things. It's been 3 weeks since she left. We've communicated mostly through texts, brief and emotionless. But seeing her in person, smelling her perfume in our home, watching her move through rooms we decorated together, broke something inside me. Are you in love with him? I asked as she folded sweaters into a suitcase. She paused, fingers tracing the edge of a cardigan I'd given her last Christmas. I don't know, she admitted. I'm confused about everything right now. But you're living with him. It's temporary. He has a guest house. A guest house. Of course he does. I showed her the spreadsheet I'd made. Every dollar I'd given to her family, every sacrifice I'd made. She looked at it for a long time, then closed my laptop. Is that all our marriage was to you? A ledger of debts and payments. Her words stung because they twisted everything around. I'd never once asked for repayment, never held it over her head, until now, when she was walking away. That's not fair, I said. I gave that money freely because I loved you, because they were family. And now they're not? She asked quietly. I had no answer for that. After she left, her brother texted me. Sarah told us everything. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. You deserved better. That simple acknowledgement broke the dam. I sobbed for hours, grieving not just for my marriage, but for the future I thought we were building. The children we'd planned to have. The retirement we'd dreamed about. This morning, my lawyer called with news. Sarah wants to discuss settlement terms. She's asking for half the house, half my retirement account. She's entitled to it legally, my lawyer explained. Unless you had a prenup. We didn't. Who thinks about prenups when you're young and in love? I laughed bitterly, thinking about the $43,762 I'd already given her family. The irony of her wanting half of what little remains is almost poetic. I agreed to meet with her and the lawyers next week. What choice do I have? Today, I drove past our favorite restaurant, where we had our first date, where I proposed, where we celebrated anniversaries. Through the window, I saw them, Sarah and Michael, sharing a bottle of wine. Her head was thrown back in laughter, her hand resting on his arm. She looked happy, happier than I'd seen her in years. For a moment, I considered going inside, making a scene, telling this stranger exactly what kind of woman he was getting involved with. Instead, I drove away. I'm not angry anymore, just empty. 10 years of my life, countless sacrifices, all reduced to settlement negotiations and divided assets. Someone at work suggested I try dating apps. Plenty of fish in the sea, they said cheerfully. But how do you trust again after something like this? How do you look at a new person and not wonder if they're just waiting for someone better to come along? I don't regret loving Sarah. I don't even regret helping her family. What I regret is forgetting to save something for myself, some protection against the storm I never saw coming. If there's any wisdom in this mess, it's this. Love with your whole heart, but keep your eyes open. Being generous shouldn't mean being blind. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with a financial advisor to rebuild what I can of my savings. Next month, I'm planning a hiking trip I've always wanted to take, but Sarah wasn't interested in. Small steps toward reclaiming my life. Sarah may have taken my past and disrupted my present, but I refuse to let her have my future too. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.